Not every relationship ends because of cheating. Not every relationship breaks because people stop loving each other. Sometimes, relationships slowly die because of emotional habits nobody notices early enough. And one of the biggest emotional mistakes people make in relationships is expecting love to survive without emotional effort. At first, everything feels natural. Attention feels easy. Communication feels exciting. Connection feels strong. But over time, people become comfortable. And comfort without emotional awareness can slowly destroy even strong relationships. Today, we are going to talk about the emotional mistake that quietly ruins relationships over time. Part 1. People stop paying attention. One of the first things that changes in relationships is attention. At the beginning, people notice everything. The small details. The emotions. The little changes in mood. But over time, attention fades. People become distracted by work, stress, routine, comfort, and slowly, emotional connection weakens. Not because love disappeared, but because emotional presence disappeared. And relationships cannot survive long without emotional presence. Because love is not maintained by words alone. It is maintained by consistent attention. Part 2. Comfort turns into neglect. Comfort is beautiful in relationships. But too much comfort can become dangerous. Why? Because people stop trying. They stop expressing appreciation, planning meaningful moments, listening carefully, showing emotional effort, and eventually, one person begins feeling emotionally invisible. This is where emotional loneliness begins. Not while being alone, but while being emotionally disconnected inside a relationship. And emotional neglect is one of the quietest forms of relationship pain. Part 3. Communication becomes surface level. Another mistake that slowly destroys relationships is shallow communication. Many couples still talk every day, but they stop truly connecting emotionally. Conversations become repetitive, routine, emotionally empty. Instead of discussing feelings, people discuss schedules. Instead of emotional intimacy, they exchange basic information. And slowly, emotional depth disappears. This creates a relationship that looks stable from the outside, but feels emotionally disconnected inside. Part 4. People stop feeling understood. One of the deepest human needs is emotional understanding. People want to feel heard, valued, emotionally safe, but when emotional understanding disappears, distance begins growing silently. Arguments become more common. Not always because of the actual problem, but because people feel emotionally unseen. Sometimes a person is not angry about one small issue. They are reacting to months of emotional disconnection. And unresolved emotional disconnection slowly becomes resentment. Part 5. Emotional effort starts feeling one-sided. Relationships become painful when one person feels like they are carrying everything emotionally. They initiate conversations, fix problems, maintain connection, create emotional effort alone. Over time, this becomes exhausting. Because healthy love requires mutual emotional investment. And when effort becomes unbalanced, people begin feeling emotionally drained instead of emotionally supported. This is where many relationships begin breaking internally, even before the breakup actually happens. Part 6. People assume love is enough. One of the biggest misconceptions about relationships is this: people think love alone is enough. But love without communication, effort, emotional maturity, consistency cannot survive long term. Love creates connection, but emotional habits maintain it. And many relationships fail not because feelings disappear, but because emotional maintenance disappears. That is the contradiction many people realize too late. Part 7. How to protect a relationship emotionally. Strong relationships are built intentionally. Not perfectly, but intentionally. People must continue listening, appreciating each other, expressing emotions, creating emotional safety even after years together. Because emotional connection requires maintenance. And the healthiest couples are not the ones without problems. They are the ones who continue choosing emotional effort consistently. Part 8. The danger of unspoken expectations. One of the biggest silent destroyers of relationships is unspoken expectations. People expect their partner to understand them, automatically notice emotional pain, instantly know what they need without communication. But relationships are not mind reading. And when expectations stay unspoken, disappointment slowly grows. One person feels emotionally neglected. The other person feels confused. And instead of honest communication, resentment begins building silently. This is why emotional clarity matters so much. Because confusion creates distance, while communication creates understanding. Part 9. People stop growing together. Another emotional mistake is growing separately instead of together. Over time, people change. Their goals change. Their mindset changes. Their emotional needs change. And if couples stop evolving together emotionally, they slowly become strangers. Not because they hate each other, but because emotional connections stop developing. Healthy relationships require continuous growth. People must continue learning each other's emotions, fears, dreams, and emotional changes over time because relationships are not static. They either grow stronger or slowly weaken through emotional distance. Part 10. The problem with assuming they already know. Many people stop expressing love because they assume they already know how I feel. But emotional reassurance still matters. People still need appreciation, affection, emotional acknowledgement even after years together. And when emotional expression disappears, people begin feeling emotionally forgotten. This creates loneliness inside relationships. A dangerous type of loneliness, because it exists while someone is physically present. And emotional loneliness is often harder to notice than physical distance. Part 11. Small problems become bigger over time. Many relationships do not collapse because of one huge problem. They collapse because of many small emotional issues left unresolved. Tiny frustrations. Tiny disappointments. Tiny emotional wounds. Ignored repeatedly. And over time, those small issues become emotional weight. This is why healthy communication matters early. Because problems ignored today often become emotional explosions later. And sadly, many couples only start communicating seriously after emotional damage has already grown too deep. Part 12. Why emotional safety matters so much. One of the strongest foundations of love is emotional safety. A healthy relationship should feel like a place where emotions are respected, vulnerability feels safe, honesty is not punished. Without emotional safety, people begin hiding parts of themselves. And once emotional hiding begins, real connection slowly disappears. Because true intimacy only grows where people feel emotionally accepted. Not judged. Not attacked. Not emotionally dismissed. Part 13. The difference between love and maintenance. Love creates the beginning of relationships. But maintenance determines whether they survive. This is the contradiction many people misunderstand. Strong feelings at the beginning are not enough. Relationships survive through emotional effort, consistency, communication, patience, understanding, and without those things, even strong emotional attraction slowly fades. Because relationships are not maintained automatically. They require conscious emotional care. Every single day. Final message: the emotional mistake that destroys many relationships is not always dramatic. Sometimes, it is simply becoming emotionally careless over time. Assuming connection will maintain itself. Assuming love no longer needs attention. Assuming emotional effort is no longer necessary. But healthy love always requires awareness. And people who continue protecting emotional connection intentionally are often the ones who build lasting relationships. Finally, if this video helped you understand relationships on a deeper emotional level, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more emotional storytelling and relationship psychology content. Because sometimes, small emotional awareness can completely change the future of a relationship. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.